Hello everybody, this is Mike Maurer from Southern Utah University's Department of Aviation Sciences, and today we're going to be chatting with Jim Wisecup, the chairman of the board for Helicopter Association International. In this video we're going to talk about career opportunities, what's going on in the industry, and how HAI is really supporting all of the efforts of the rotor industry as a whole. And if you've ever thought about becoming a helicopter pilot, we'll be able to answer some of those questions and help you make that decision. So Jim, thanks for spending time with us today. Maybe talk about how you became a pilot.
Well, back in 1966, long before you, before everybody's time it seems, I had a friend in high school that decided he wanted to go take an introductory flight in an airplane. And so we went down to the local airport, took the introductory flight, short but sweet, and I decided this would be a great thing to do, and decided that's where I wanted to go for a career, and started looking around at ways to do that, and pretty much the only way I could afford it was to join the Army, and because the Army was the only one that would accept you without a college degree. So I went to college for a year, went in the Army, and stayed on active duty, did flight school, went to Vietnam for a year, came back to the flight school as an instructor, and then got out of the Army off active duty. Have done National Guard and Reserve since then, but started flying commercially in 1974, and have been doing it ever since. So.
Wow, 51 years.
51 years since I soloed in the Army.
Well, that's impressive. That is very impressive. So if you could take a moment and speak about your role within HAI and really what HAI does.
Okay. I'm the chairman of the board. The board of directors is elected by the members. HAI is a member-run organization, and that's our chief focus is to service our members and to help them with their business and to deal with both legislation and regulation. And we try to stay out in front of the industry and to help them maintain their business and make sure that they don't get overwhelmed with legislation or regulation. And that's both in the United States and internationally. We have representatives that go to Congress, go to the FAA, go to ICAO, which is the International Congress of Aviation Organizations, go to our European partners and work with them. We're going to Australia in the spring and work with those folks. So again, it's the board is elected by the members to represent the members, and we do get a cross section of the membership on the board. So we have commercial operators, we have Part 91 operators, we have government operators, and the number of seats on the board is regulated by the percentages of the regular members.
That makes sense.
But that's our duty, is to represent the members.
Well, and I've witnessed firsthand the activism that the HAI has out there, especially on the federal side, and it is very much appreciated that there is that group that is actively out there looking for ways to make the rotor industry better. During that extensive career, that 51 years of out there flying and servicing the community, is there a particular moment that stands out, maybe as kind of a highlight for you?
Well, there's a lot of moments. When I got off active duty, my first job was flying offshore. And I flew offshore Texas, the North Sea, Malaysia, California. But then I went to Airmethods, started out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, finished my active flying in Salt Lake, University of Utah. Did a flight that really stands out, and it was two brothers out duck hunting that capsized their boat. The guy we picked up actually went and pulled his brother out of the water, and I guess that exertion, he wound up going under, and by the time we got there, the paramedics were ready to pronounce him dead on the scene. But our paramedics said, no, we're not going to quit. And he worked on him. We loaded him in the helicopter, flew back to the University of Utah. The longest flight of my life, I think. Sure. But when we got back, they took him to the emergency room. They warmed up his blood, warmed him up, and the next day they extubated him, and he recovered just fine. His dad said he had a short-term memory loss, but his dad and his pregnant wife were very grateful that we got him back. And so that stands out because they came and were very grateful for what was done. I just rode the boat, but but it was very touching.
Well, clearly an example of how the helicopter industry supports and serves the general community as a whole. You've obviously been in the career for longer than most of us have been alive. Is this a career that you would still recommend to somebody who's interested in aviation?
Absolutely. It's so diverse, and I mean, when we look at all the different jobs that the helicopter world does, the big ones are offshore, aeromedical, utility, which is anything from logging to mining, firefighting, aerial photography. There's just so many different things. So you can really pick and choose, and you can pick and choose the type of work you want to do. You can pick and choose, the type of hours you want to work. A lot of the utility jobs, you go out and live in the field for a week, get a day or two off, and go back. Aeromedical, you typically work a week on, week off. You're home every night. So it's very rewarding, and like I said, there's so many options you can choose from that, and you can decide for whatever you like, you can do.
Clearly, a lot of variety. What's the demand look like?
Demand is high because, and it's somewhat tempered right now because I think the offshore oil the price of oil has been down, so the offshore oil industry is kind of backed off a bit, which it kind of dilutes the demand a little bit, but still the airlines are hiring like crazy, and they're taking people out of the military with virtually no airplane experience, and people that would typically have come to the helicopter industry are now going to the airlines, and so we got a shortage. And HFI, which is Helicopter Foundation International, which is the nonprofit educational and scholarship wing of HAI, funded a study with the University of North Dakota, which tells us that we're going to be short 7,600 plus pilots in the next 18 years, and over 40,000 maintenance technicians.
Wow.
And so it's coming, and it's not going to get any better. So.
Well, I know there's a lot of helicopter schools across the country, both collegiate and private, they're doing everything they possibly can to get this word out that this is a viable career, and it's something that's very worthwhile going into. Could you take a brief moment and chat about what the future looks like with the unmanned aerial systems, and what HAI is doing with that?
Well, we recognized that they were coming, and again, because of the support they get from some very large corporations, they're coming. It's not a matter of if; it's just a matter of when. What we've tried to do is embrace the new technology. We understand that they will take some jobs that manned helicopters have done, but I think if we just concentrate on those jobs that they can't touch, I've told people that there are jobs that unmanned aerial systems can do as well or better, with a lot less risk to the human beings. But there are jobs that unmanned systems just won't work, and because, like I said, I did offshore and I did air medical, and I don't think either one of those industries, you're not going to get a flight nurse in the back of an unmanned aerial system. And so it's, although it's going to change the industry, I don't see it as a threat. It's
just a different way of doing business.
It is, and there's still to be enough business for helicopters, and I mean they've been expanding so much over the years that I think any business lost to the unmanned aerial systems will be replaced with jobs that they can't do.
So the overall industry demand and the outlook for pilots is stronger than it's ever been.
It is, and I know that in the air medical industry, when I first started flying 32 years ago, they were wanting 3,000 and 4,000 hours, and now it's down industry-wide probably to 2,000 hours, and in some places less than that. So it's not that we've lowered our standards; it's just that we have to look for the more qualified, or change the way we look at things, and look at the person rather than the number of hours. But so the demand's there. There's going to be jobs for helicopter pilots for years to come.
Well, from a school standpoint, that's good to hear.
Yeah, and like I tell people, I would not hesitate to encourage my grandkids to go into it. So
well, that's very good. We certainly appreciate your time today, your involvement in the leadership role with NHAI, and everything you're doing for the industry, and everything HAI is doing for the industry. This has been a great chat with Jim Wisecup. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.